everyone. I just wanted to do a quick recap for those of you that were unfortunately unable to attend our experienced teams retraining this evening, and just to recap for those of you that were actually here. The first thing I'm going to tell you is the GLCs are just our top 5 for the entire church. One, following Wisconsin state mandate, we are asking that all volunteers wear masks unless for some medical reason you cannot. 2, I'm going to cheat here. Be mindful that not everyone is going to be ready to hug or have a handshake or anything like that. Just some people aren't going to be. And on that note, number 3, we will have a sticker system in place, and I will show you that here shortly. You can just avoid that awkward conversation of, oh, do I hug you? Do I not hug you? Hopefully the sticker, on your shirt can let everybody else know where you stand with that. We are having everybody find their own seat in the auditoriums. We will be steering people toward the west first, but we're not Xing off seats. We're not roping off seats. We're just asking that every family or every party leave 2 seats between them and the next family or the next group down the row from them. And then finally, we're going to be having coffee, and I'll show y'all what that looks like too. So bear with me. In addition to your mask, we're going to ask that you wear your lanyard too to identify yourself so that our guests can know who they can ask any questions to. If you can't find your lanyard when you get here, or if you forget it at home, that's totally fine. Just come and find me so I can get you one before you get stationed wherever you're supposed to be on Sunday. We could have all of our volunteers try to park on the south side of the building. That's between the 2 buildings. So you pull in and you go around the one building. The aisle between the 2 buildings is where we're gonna ask all volunteers to park and then come in through the south doors. Okay, so when guests enter our building from the north door, which is where we're asking all guests to come from, parking will help with that. The first thing that they're going to see when they walk in is this table. There are 2 of them, and we just have it set with red stickers and green stickers. And we're gonna have someone stationed here just asking them to put on a sticker so that we know whether we can extend our hand or just give them an elbow or just wave to them. Greeters, we are gonna have these doors propped open unless it creates a crazy temperature change into the lobby. It's just one less thing for our guests to touch. So I'll get you the big door stoppers. These will be propped open. And then I also have a sign for you to hold. So we are welcoming all of our guests back, and it's just one less opportunity for you to touch somebody. So you'll have something in your hands, the doors will be propped open, and our guests will just walk right in and not have to touch anything. If it does change the temperature too much, it'll be a game time decision, and we'll close the doors, and then we'll just ask that you are super mindful of people walking in and out so that only our volunteers are the ones touching the doors and guests do not have to. The same goes for at the end of service. So when the 9 o'clock service ends or when the 10:30 service ends, if our greeters could come back, be the first ones out here, prop those doors open again and say goodbye to everybody again so our guests do not have to touch the doors, that would be super helpful. The same kind of, I'm going to use the word rule even though I don't want to use that word. The same rule stands. Please stay at your station for 15 minutes after service begins. So if you're greeting, you're about 8:40 to 9:15 or 10:15 to 10:45. That way, anyone who's coming in late, they again feel welcomed and they don't have to touch those doors. Ushers, this is what your doors will look like after music is done rehearsing. They're both propped open. You will be standing here greeting people, and the auditorium does not have chairs roped off, does not have chairs X'd off. We are just asking the adults to, again, leave 2 chairs between their party and the next party. We're gonna ask that you be mindful of open seats. If you see a larger party walk in and you know there's space up front, just point them in that direction. And for the first couple of weeks, we're also gonna have Doug be our main count person to ensure that we are social distancing within the auditoriums. The West Auditorium max that we're going to allow is 100 people, and then we'll move them over to the East where our max is 75. If it gets any further, or if we get any more people than that, then we will figure out a way to stream everything over to the ops center, the operations center, and move guests that way. We don't foresee that happening, but just in case, know that we do have a plan in place. As I was thinking through the video I made yesterday, I realized I forgot info table. So info table peeps. The info table has actually moved locations. It's on the East Auditorium wall between the two TVs. And what's happening there is we're still asking people to be there beforehand and after the service, but we're having connection cards on those mini clipboards, and then we're having the water bottles wiped down and set on the actual table. So we're not going to be handing them to the guests. If someone comes, we can assure them that we've wiped the pens off, we've wiped the clipboards off, and that is safe for them to use. And then they can just grab the water bottle if they're a first-time guest. If someone comes and is looking for a giving envelope, we're also going to have like 5 of those set out on the info table as well, but we're leaving them in the giving stations just in case someone wants to grab them there. So that's a heads up for you all. And in the future, hopefully near future, we're looking to change the name from info table to something along the lines of Connection Center, Next Steps, just something to incorporate more community and not just getting information, coming there, learning more about who we are, getting involved, etc. So sorry I forgot, but at least there's this pretty view. Heads up that a couple of the tables in the lobby we are designating to be a family seating area. That way if a family has smaller children that they're not putting in the kids ministries, they can come out here. We don't have to worry about the children being loud or disrupting others during service. And we also have some activity bags for them that James put together that has coloring sheets and little wax figure sticks and just things to keep them occupied. The good news is we will be having coffee. We are excited to be able to offer that to our guests. It's some sense of normalcy for sure. It is gonna look a little bit different. So if you can see, the coffee canister is turned around, and as are the caddies over here. So it's gonna be full barista mode. We'll have a coffee volunteer behind the counter, and basically our guests are gonna wait in line and order their coffee. This sign will look better than it does right now on Sunday, but we're asking everyone to use hand sanitizer and then basically give us their order. And our coffee volunteers will mix it for them, unless of course the guest prefers to take everything themselves, and then we'll ask them to head over to the counter, mix everything, and then have trash collected from them. Our biggest concern is, of course, our people. So if you have a sniffle or a cough or a sneeze or whatever it is, you just don't feel well, you have a headache, please stay home. I just ask that you shoot me a text or decline in planning center. Somehow let me know that you are not gonna make it, so I'm not running around looking for you. But again, we care about you. That is the main thing. So stay home if you do not feel well. We missed you. We love you guys, and we cannot wait to see you when you are comfortable coming back. In the meantime, work on your smiles.